Starting in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together and butterfly the knees open. You can place one hand on your heart, other hand on the belly. And just take a few moments to settle into your space, collecting any scattered energy, and just noticing how you arrived on your mat, physically, mentally, energetically. Taking a nice deep breath in, filling up, and an open mouth exhale, letting go. Once again, inhale, breath, and exhale, empty. One more time, big breath in, an audible breath out, let it go. Just sealing the lips, start to breathe in and out through the nose. Keeping your breath steady and smooth throughout your practice. When you're ready, using your hands, close your knees and draw them in towards your chest. Start to rock side to side, releasing any tension that you're holding in the lower back. You can create circles with the knees. If you go in one direction, then switch it out. Releasing the feet to the ground, hip width distance, walking the heels in towards the glutes, pressing into the feet, lift the hips towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes, option to shimmy the shoulders underneath, interlacing hands behind the low back. When you're ready, slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time, pause at the bottom. Breath in and breath out. Once again, pressing into the feet, lift the hips up towards the sky. This time, send the right foot forward. Keep the hips even, the thighs in one line. Releasing it down, switch it out, extend your left foot forward. Press into the right foot, squeeze the glutes, and then release slowly, lower all the way back down. And then draw the knees in towards the chest, start to rock forward and back along the length of the spine. If this doesn't feel good, rolling over to your favorite side, pressing up. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position, stacking your shoulders over your wrist and your hips over your knees. Start to move through cat-cow. On the inhale, dropping the belly, roll your heart forward and gaze up. And on the exhale, cat, press the earth away, round the spine. Inhales, cow pose, soft bend in the elbows, and exhales, cat. Feel free to find some organic movement in your body, moving the hips side to side, just noticing any areas of resistance. Thread the needle, root down to the left hand, reach the right hand up towards the sky, and on the exhale, thread it through. Right ear and shoulder touches the ground. Option to extend the left fingertips forward towards the top edge of the mat, or take a half bind, releasing the left hand to the low back. For a balanced challenge, start to extend the left leg back and float the toes off the ground. Returning the left hand underneath the shoulder, unwind, reach the right hand up and release it down. Root down through the right hand, left hand reaches towards the sky, and on the exhale, left ear and shoulder touches the mat. Taking the same variation that you did on the other side. Option to extend the right toes back this time for a balanced challenge. Focusing on the steady breath in and breath out. Allow yourself to soften and breathe into the left shoulder on the exhales. Pressing back into the right hand, start to unwind and release the left hand back down towards the ground. Tucking the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Taking a few moments, walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. Noticing how the back of the legs are feeling hamstrings and calves. Option to drop the heels towards the left and then towards the right. Allowing the heels to be heavy, maybe a soft bend in the knees, and start to ripple forward into high plank, rounding through the spine, reach the chest through the shoulders, and then pressing back to down dog. couple more times, finding a flow, beginning to wake up the core and the arms. This time, holding in high plank, press the earth away, send the heels back. Dropping the knees to the ground, lower all the way down to your belly. Keep the elbows in by the sides. On the inhale, coming into Sphinx, forearms to the ground, elbows underneath the shoulders. Heart is reaching forward, shoulders softening down the back. Option, if it's in your practice, float the elbows off the ground. If there's any crunching in the lower back, keep the forearms to the ground. Start to lower back down. We'll be coming into a pec stretch. So extend the right arm out, creating a T shape, and then roll onto the right side. Taking the left foot, planting it behind you, knee bent. Option for the left hand to come into the low back. Breathing into the right chest, the right shoulder, and just finding that edge, that place of sensation, not too much, not too little. When you're ready, slowly coming back through center and switch it out. Left arm extends out at shoulder height, rolling onto the left side. Right foot plants behind you. Option for the right hand to come to the low back. Steady breath in and breath out. Returning to center, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, either press up tabletop or high plank, coming into downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, start to slowly step the feet behind the wrist. Ragdoll, feet about hip width distance, generous bend in the knees and reaching for opposite elbows. Just gently rocking side to side, maybe shaking the head, yes and no. Any tension, any stress, just rolling off the shoulders away from your mat. Releasing the hands to the ground, take the left hand to the center of the mat or to a block. Bending the left knee, start to reach with the right hand towards the sky. You'll feel a stretch on the outside of the right leg and hip. Option to take a half bind, right hand to the low back. And then release, switching it out, right hand roots down, bending the right knee, left hand reaches high, taking the same variation that you did on the other side. Using the block helps you to reach the ground if there's any tightness in the legs, the hamstrings. And then gently release, hang heavy. Toe heel the feet together and taking your time, slowly roll up to standing. Head and neck is last to rise. At the top, you can find a couple of shoulder rolls up and down the back. And finding stillness, bring the hands to heart center, Samastihiti. Taking a moment, close the eyes or soften the gaze. Let's take a deep inhale breath. And an open mouth exhale, let it all go. Releasing the arms down, reach the arms overhead. Palms face in, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Gentle back bend, cactus the arms, elbows in line with shoulders, lift the heart. Reaching the arms back up, forward fold, hinge from the hips, dive all the way down, hang heavy. Halfway lift, bring the hands to the shins, ground, or thighs. Finding a flat back, option for a soft bend in the knees if the hamstrings are tight. Releasing the hands to the ground, stepping back to high plank. Releasing the knees to the ground, lower all the way down to the belly. Coming into baby cobra, zip the legs together. On the inhale, head, chest, shoulders lifts up. Breathe here. Little weight in the hands, back of the neck long. Releasing down. Pressing into the hands and the hips back, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Bringing the gaze towards the top of the mat, step or lightly hop. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine, finding a flat back. Fold forward. With a flat back, rise all the way up to standing, reach the arms overhead. Gentle back bend, cactus the arms, shine the heart forward. Inhale, reaching up, and on the exhale, forward fold, dive straight back down. On your inhale, elongate the spine, halfway lift. Planting the hand, step it back, high plank. This time full chaturanga. Lowering just halfway down, elbows stay in. On the inhale, up dog, tops of the feet on the ground, thighs and knees lift up. Dropping the left knee to the ground, gazing over the right shoulder. Coming back to center, drop the right knee, gazing over the left. Coming back to center, flip the toes, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Bringing the gaze towards the hand, step or lightly hop top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time chair pose. Send the hips back, reach the arms overhead. Weight is back in the heels, activating the thighs and the glutes. See if you can sit just an inch deeper. Take a breath in. And on your next exhale, airplane arms. Follow the arms down and back. Activate the triceps. Kiss the shoulder blades together. On your inhale, chair pose. And on your exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Option to modify knees to the ground, holding high plank. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Sending your right leg up towards the sky, toes point down, right hip in line with the left. On your exhale, knee to nose, shift forward, belly pulls in. Inhale, send the leg back up towards the sky. And on your next exhale, stepping it through, low lunge. Rooting down through the left hand, option to take a block. Reach the right hand up, low lunge twist. Option to drop the back knee down for more stability. Gently spinning the heart up towards the sky. Releasing the right hand down, crescent lunge, arms reach overhead, or hands come to the hips. Drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe a soft bend in the back knee to help lengthen the tailbone down and pull the belly up and in. Starting to straighten the back leg, reach the arms overhead. Breath in, breath out. Breath in. And on your next exhale, warrior two, open up. Back heel spins down. Nice deep bend in the front knee. Tracking the knee in line with the second toe. Shoulders stacking over the hips. Flipping the right palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Breathe here. Little weight in the back hand or take a half bind. Finding length in the right side body. Planting the hands back down. Step back to high plank. Flow through or choose your variation. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. This time, sending the left leg high, toes point down, keep the hips square. On an exhale, drawing the knee in towards the nose, engage the core. Inhale, sending the leg back up towards the sky. And on your next exhale, stepping it through, low lunge. Option to grab the ankle and walk the foot forward. Root down through the right hand, low lunge twist. Left hand reaches up. Keeping length in the spine. Left shoulder softens down and back. Releasing the left hand back down. Rising up to crescent lunge. Option hands overhead or take the hands to the hips. Keeping the hips square. Belly pulled in, drawing the low ribs in. Energy reaching through the fingertips. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your next exhale, we're going to open up warrior two. Back heel spins down. Pressing into the back edge of the right foot, activate the back leg. Find a place between effort and ease. Flipping the left palm, reaching up and back. Reverse your warrior. Lifting the left rib cage away from the left hip bone. When you're ready, plant the hands. High to low plank, flowing through. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. This next round will move breath to movement. Feel free to move slower or faster, bringing the gaze towards the top of your mat, step or lightly hop. On your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. And on your exhale, fold. Sitting the hips back, inhale, chair pose, reach the arms overhead. And on your exhale, fly the arms. Inhale, return to chair. And on your exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, high to low plank or your variation. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, reaching your right leg high, toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose one time. Inhale, leg high. On your exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, rising up with stability, crescent lunge. And on your exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, plant the hands, high to low plank, flow through. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back up. And on your exhale, stepping it through with control, crescent lunge, rise up. On your exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, flow it through. Be mindful of each breath, each movement. Take a full deep breath in and a cleansing open mouth exhale. This next round we'll be adding on. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Sit the hips back. Inhale, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, fly the arms. This time, interlace the hands behind the back for a chest expansion. Bird sipping water. Option, float the heels off the ground for a balanced challenge. Take another round of breath. Keeping the hands interlaced, forward fold, release down. Take a breath in and a breath out. Release the hands. Halfway lift, lengthen. Plant the hands, step it back. High to low plank, flow it through. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, draw to cross. Either pulse it out or fall in star. Extend the right foot out, root down through the right hand. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Press the earth away. Releasing the left hand down, use your core, send the right leg back up. And on your exhale, step it through. Inhale, rising up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, plant the hands. Option, float the right foot, ekapada, for an added challenge. Inhale, up dog. And on your exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, draw to cross. Either pulse it out or fall in star. Left foot extends, left hand roots down. Press the earth away. Releasing the right hand back down. Use your core, draw the knee in, and send the leg up. On your exhale, step it through. Inhale, rising up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, flow it through. Option, float the left foot this time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Releasing knees to the ground, we'll come into puppy pose. Keep the hips directly over the knees and then walk the hands forward. Forehead comes to the ground. This is a heart opener, and you'll also feel a stretch in the shoulders. Just allow yourself to soften on your exhales. See if you can surrender into the present moment. Releasing the hands, our counter pose will be child's pose. Sending the hips back towards the heels, arms extended forward, knees out wide. Allow the hips to be heavy and finding an expansive breath, breathing into the back of the lungs. Option to gently rock the forehead side to side, massaging out any tension, stress, expectations from your day. Take a full deep breath in and an open mouth exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, pressing up to tabletop, returning to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, bringing the gaze towards the hands, stepping forward. Toe heel the feet out to the edges of the mat, heels and toes out from Malasana squat. Hands come to heart center. Option to place a block underneath you for added support. Closing the eyes or soften the gaze. Taking a few moments here to shift your attention inward. If there's any rounding in the upper back, soften the shoulders down. Keep your heart lifted. Take one more breath. Releasing the hands to the ground, lift the hips, and then toe heel the feet back together. On an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. And on your exhale, fold back in, hang heavy. With a flat back, rise up, arms float overhead. Bring the palms to touch, hands come into heart center. Pausing here, feel the feet rooted. Take a deep breath in and a cleansing exhale out. Taking a quarter turn to your right for triangle pose. Bring the arms out at shoulder height. Start to send the hips back and reaching forward. Tick-tock the arms. Keep length in the left side waist and open across the chest. Option, start to reach the right fingertips forward and the left fingertips forward to activate the obliques even more. And then rising back up. Turn the toes in, parallel the feet for Prasarita. Option to reach the hands towards the ground, a block, or the outside ankles. Shifting the weight slightly forward. Maybe a soft micro bend in the knees if the hamstrings feel tight. Releasing the hands down. And then start to walk the hands forward, coming back into low lunge for runner's lunge. Dropping the back knee, bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Toe heel the left foot out towards the outside edge of the mat. You can lower down to the forearms, maybe add in a block. Finding a stretch in the right hip flexor and the right psoas. Relaxing the head and neck. Relax the forehead. See if you can unclench the jaw. Take a breath in and a breath out. Pressing back into the hands. Toe heel the left foot back to center. Stepping back to high plank. Option to flow through a chaturanga or coming straight back into downward facing dog. Reaching your right leg up towards the sky, and on your exhale, stepping it through to low lunge. Warrior one, spin the back heel down, and then reaching the arms overhead. Drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward, lengthen through the side waist. We'll find eagle arms, sweep the left arm underneath the right, option to grab the shoulders, or cross at the forearms. Gazing at one point in front of you, we'll start to shift the weight into the right foot for eagle pose. Draw the left thigh up and over the right. Toes can touch down on a block. Or start to reach the toes in the direction of wrapping around the ankle. Lifting the elbows in line with the shoulders. Keeping the shoulders directly over the hips. Gazing at one point your drishti. And then start to unwind, reach the arms overhead. Forward fold, dive it straight back down. Hang heavy at the bottom. We'll toe heel the feet out to the edges of the mat for a second set of Malasana squat. Bringing the hands into heart center and returning to your breath. You also have the option of playing around with crow pose. It's an arm balance, planting the hands on the ground, and then drawing the knees high up into the triceps. Start to send the weight forward, and then play around. Maybe you lift one toe off the ground or both feet. Pull the core into center. And when you're ready, releasing, toe heel the feet back to center. On your next inhale with a flat back, rising all the way up to standing, floating the arms overhead and drilling the hands into heart center. Take a breath here. Coming into the other side, step the left foot back for triangle pose. Arms come out at shoulder height. Sending the hips back, reach forward. Once again, tick-tock the arms. Right side waist stays long. Option to reach the left hand forward and the right hand as if you're holding a big beach ball. Activate the obliques and then rising up. Turn the toes in, feet parallel. This time chest expansion, hands interlace behind the back and then fold forward, hang heavy. Feeling expansion across the chest. Breathe into the shoulders. Releasing the hands back down towards the ground. And then crawl the hands towards the front for runner's lunge. Toe heel the right foot to the outside edge of the mat. You can stay up on the hands, lower down to the forearms. Finding a stretch for the left hip flexor, the left psoas. See if you can soften on the exhales. Let go of any tensing, any holding, any gripping. And then gently pressing into the hands. Toe heel the right foot back to center, stepping back to high plank. Option to flow through a chaturanga or send the hips back, downward facing dog. Send your left leg high and on your exhale, step it through low lunge. Warrior one, back heel spins down, reaching the arms overhead. Keeping the hips square, left hip back, right hip forward, drilling the low ribs in. Finding eagle arms. This time you're gonna sweep the right arm underneath the left. Either grab shoulders or start to cross at the forearms. Gaze forward. Bring the weight into the left foot. Use your core. Eagle. Right thigh crosses up and over the left. Toes touch a block or start to wrap the toes around the ankle. Remember, it takes time and practice. Keeping the elbows and knees in one line. Find a steady, even breath here. Gently release, arms reach overhead, and then forward fold, dive it back down. Halfway lift, plant the hands, step it back. Last chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Half pigeon, right knee, right wrist, shin to the ground, keeping the weight centered, hips square. On an exhale, lower down to the forearms or extend the arms all the way out. Just allowing yourself to come into stillness, breathing into any resistance in the body or in the mind. Just be right here with your breath. Notice where you feel the sensations. Start to press the hands back into the ground, tucking the back toe, send the right leg high. Finding a release, just shake it out, let it go. Releasing the right foot down, second side, half pigeon, left knee, left wrist. Weight is centered, hips are square. If the left hip is lifting, option to place a block or a blanket underneath so secondary muscles don't come in. And then just finding your depth. Closing the eyes or soften the gaze. Just notice, where does the mind go in stillness? Do you start to get pulled by the past or by the future? Can you be right here with your breath? Pressing back into the hands, tucking the right toes, send your left leg high. Take a moment, find a release, whatever feels best for you. Releasing the foot down, Bring the knees to the ground and come to a seated position. We'll start to slow down our practice. Lower all the way down onto your back. Take your time. Drawing the right knee up and in towards the right armpit, the left leg extends out. Supine twist. Draw the right knee across the body over towards the left. Right arm extends out at shoulder height. Gaze up, or allow the chin to fall towards the right. Gently releasing in the lower back. Bringing out the body. Rejuvenating the spine. Coming back into center, give the knees a squeeze to rebalance. And switch it out. Left knee in, right leg extends. Supine twist. When you're ready, draw the left knee across. Left arm extends out. Option to gaze towards the left, completing the twist into the cervical spine. Bringing out anything that's no longer serving you. A thought, a habit, a story, or some physical tension. Drawing the knees back into center, giving them a final squeeze, taking a breath in, and on your exhale, Shavasana. Take up space, get heavy, letting go of any lingering effort, relaxing fully and completely. Feel free to stay here for as long as you need. Namaste.